Hello. Am I audible to the rest of you? Okay. I'm now host. That means I'm responsible for letting people in.
Hello.
Hello. Also, let me know if that fan going on behind me gets into the microphone. Like, give people another couple minutes, especially since our first applicant isn't here yet. If he isn't here in a couple minutes, we'll just make sure he's not in the waiting room. The waiting room. Here we are. I'll run just another minute to give people a chance to show up. How many of us do we have here? We have 7 of us. That's all but one. But Judy. Just make sure no one's sitting in the waiting room, and no one's sitting in the waiting room. Well, then I'll call us to order since we have our first applicant and we have a quorum. So let's get going with Steve Hardwick, the chair of the Clintonville Area Commission Zoning and Variance Committee. I sent out, well, looks like I put it in, put call to order twice on the agenda, but I did link to the previous meeting's minutes. I did make the correction that Kelly pointed out, as well as I corrected Judy Minister's name. And so, are there any other changes, any other needed changes to that? If so, do I have a motion to approve? Diane? All in favor? Thanks. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That's approved 7-0. Okay. The first item on the agenda, and I've lived in Clintonville long enough, I should be able to pronounce the name of this street, but it's 54 to 56. Is it Kanawa? Did I have that pronounced right? And people are laughing at me. I'll let the applicant correct it. Me. Owner Gerald Sutton, in order to satisfy the requirements, needs to obtain a mortgage on his property, ask for a variance to continue using his duplex as a duplex. This is what it's been since 1949. Yesterday I added the staff review comment to the agenda, which said that planning is supportive. The site's within the planning boundaries of Clintonville Neighborhood Plan 2009, which recommends 2 and 3 family residential land uses at this location. The use is consistent with what the plan recommendation. Mr. Sutton, would you like to give a presentation, or would you like to talk about it? No, I not have Mr. Sutton. I have my second and third ones up. So I'm going to move on to the second and third items on the agenda. Moving on to Bonnie Smelser at 23 Arden Road. The homeowner seeks a variance to reduce the minimum side yard from 5 foot to 4 foot 3 inches. Ms. Parker, are you here to speak on this?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I share my screen, or should I just talk?
Go ahead. Please go ahead and share your screen.
Okay.
If you can't, let me know.
It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Let's see here. Spotlight, make spotlight for everyone. Set allow to record, make co-host. I'm looking at screen share, and it says, nope, now it's asking me to share my screen. It says one participant can share at a time, advanced sharing options. See if you can do it now.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so this property is at 23 Arden Road. So it's just east of High Street. So you can kind of see High Street here on the left and Arden Road at the top. So it's the first house off of the alley off of High Street. And we are asking for a side yard setback variance. So here's the alley, and here's Arden Road at the top again. The existing house is a 2-story, actually it's a 2.5-story colonial, and the owner is requiring an elevator in order to access the second and the third floors, and create a new powder room that can be wheelchair accessible so that she can use the house while having a walker or a wheelchair. In order to get these proportions to work out, the elevator has to be centered on the house. One, just so it maintains the integrity of the colonial style, and also just to access that half story at the third floor, it needs to center so that the ceiling heights are appropriate. So the elevator is centered on the house, and then the powder room is off the kitchen. And in order to allow that configuration, we're asking for 1 square foot, this triangular area, to be over the side yard setback, the 5-foot side yard. So it's kind of a 9 inches to the west and 2 foot 9 inches, kind of to the north. So that little tiny triangular area that you can see there. So this is the floor plan, and unfortunately this is kind of rotated, so we're looking at the front, but you can kind of see the elevator is to be centered on the house, and the powder room with dimensions to meet the wheelchair accessibility radius. And this is how it'll look from the exterior. So from the front, we're adding some windows to kind of soften that massing. And on the side, you can see it kind of centers, which is nice because it can keep all the existing windows. And it has a single story detailing that matches the two flat roof porches on the front and the back. The owner did send me kind of a letter from her doctor indicating that the elevator is a recommendation so that she can have maneuverability in the house with her conditions. So if that becomes important. So I think that's the ask is just a simple side yard setback. So basically the ask is to reduce the side yard from 5 feet to 4'3" for that little corner.
Thank you. And just you know, I was I was messing with my phone during that, but I was sending texts and emails to the applicant who's not here, trying to make sure, reminding them to come to the meeting. So I apologize for doing that. Well, for doing that while you were speaking. Do we have any, the way we do this is questions from the committee, and then if any member of the public wants to ask questions, they can. Do we have any questions from the committee? And just unmute yourself and talk because I can't see everyone at the same time. Go ahead.
Ms. Parker, I had a question. I noticed in the alley there's overhead power lines. Do you know how, is there like a easement for the utility running down that alley?
Not that I'm aware of. It wasn't on the property survey.
I can speak a little bit as the property owner. The actual electrical was upgraded as I purchased the home, and it comes in the middle back. So it comes from this back area back here.
It comes off of the back and not off of the not off the side. So I don't think the poles are on this side of the alley.
No.
Oh, you can kind of see the shadow here.
Yeah, I'm looking at the street view. It does look like they're on the east side of the alley there. I was just wondering if you knew where the, like how wide that easement is, and if you were encroaching on it.
Well, the other thing is that the city is just in the process of upgrading the storm drains, and actually this sidewalk right back here, there's now a big hole where they dug that out. So actually the underground goes there now to the alley.
So I guess the good thing is, so if there is an easement there, just the single story piece is the thing encroaching. The elevator is not encroaching if that easement is 5 feet, which would align with the setback. The elevator component that goes 2.5 stories does not encroach. The single story addition encroaches, but it would be beneath any of the power lines. But we'll have to, again, it wasn't on the property survey, and usually those easements are documented on the survey.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the committee? Feel free to jump in. Again, I can't see everyone, so just unmute yourself and talk. Okay, any questions from the community? Anyone? Do we have any members of the community here? I will check email one because I always promise to check email to make sure someone hasn't emailed me in the comments. And I've sent out notices and I've received no comment back about this. If there are any other questions, do I have a motion on this?
I move to, did we have a district report?
No, we do not. This is, I believe, this is Judy Minister's old district, I believe, and There's no, in fact, District 5 is taking, Brittany is watching her. She did not have a report for this. She's taking care of Judy's or whole district.
I move to approve.
A second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, any opposed? Any abstentions? And just to make sure that I'm writing it down as unanimous vote. Did I get that correct? If speak now and tell me if you're
Yes.
7-0 approved. Okay, you will be to go before the Clintonville Area Commission, the full commission, a week from tomorrow at 7. That meeting starts at 7 o'clock. The Zoom link is on their calendar. If you go to the calendar, you'll find a link for that. Of course, you're welcome to watch the rest of the meeting, but you're also welcome to go on with the rest of your evening. And I thank you for your time and thank you for doing what you need to take care of your house and to stay in Clintonville for as long as you can. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Stephen.
Have a nice evening.
Bye.
Bye.
If people don't mind, I want to at least I'm going to turn off my camera and sound for just while I try to do a phone call to our first applicant, then we'll move on to the one I added. I want to give a call to the Mr. Sutton at home just to make sure there weren't any miscommunications.
I can't stand it. How is everybody? Everybody okay? Yeah.
Hanging in there. You?
Yes, I'm fine. Good seeing you the other day.
Good seeing you yesterday. Everybody got their shot?
Yes.
Good.
I just got my second one last week.
Awesome. It's a get out of jail free card. That's
Right.
bad.
I took a picture of my vaccination card in case I lose it.
I've got it on my phone. You're right. I'm terrified about losing it.
Nice.
I wonder when we're going to be able to see in person again.
We could do it if it was outside.
That's true. That is true. Because all I know is you guys have heads. That's it.
I'm pretty certain as long as I've been on this committee, it's been virtual.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
sad.
I just want to check one more thing and make sure there wasn't any snafus with him, but I believe he was on my list of when I sent out all of the agendas, and I want to, yes, Gerald 43085. And I just want to make extra sure that I didn't make a second mistake, but I don't believe I did, because nope, I sent it 43085. And he is, yep, he is on the, I sent it to him. I did send him the agenda and tell him where it was. So he knows when the meeting was. Back to meeting. So let's go on to what is for right now, the last item on the agenda, and due to no fault of theirs, due entirely to my fault, this was not put on the agenda before. They got their application in plenty of time, and the guy had it emailed to me. Because this is a relatively simple variance, and because if we don't hear it today, they lose their May BZA date. I said to go forward with it. Well, I'll talk with David Vitero. My plan is to drop off notices probably this weekend by hand, because there's probably no way I'm going to get them in the mail tomorrow. at least the neighbors will have noticed before the Clintonville Area Commission is meeting. This is BZA 21030 364 East Tulane. Homeowners Brandon and Regan, is that top?
Reagan, like the president.
Okay, Reagan.
A little different and not named after him, but
okay, spelled differently. Is it Schnug or Snug?
Yep.
Okay, I should have asked you beforehand. Asked to increase the allowable height for garage from 15 feet to 25 feet. And I did include the staff report that came with it, which was the planning generally supports the request. They did request an additional second story window on both east and west elevations to ensure compatibility with the existing residential structure per the Clintonville area plan, which states the garage height should be permitted to exceed maximum height allowable by code if it's architecturally compatible with the primary house. I'll let the applicants go ahead now.
Share my screen here. All right, can everybody see that?
yes.
All right. So we're at 364 East Tulane. We're the second house off the corner of Tulane and Esmond. Indianola is to the next block to the east here. And that is a picture, an old picture of the front of our house. And we are proposing to demo the existing one stall carriage house back here off the alley and build a 2-car garage with a lofted space over top. I will say when I filled out the variance application, I noted a maximum of 25 feet. After getting the drawings completed, it's actually 23'6" would be to the peak. So not quite that 25 feet. I know that seemed maybe a little bit high. So the garage would not be, you wouldn't be able to see it obviously from Tulane. All the access would be off the alley, which is I think pretty typical of all the South Clintonville homes here. I can show you the site plan with our existing residence, and then the 25 by 25 garage, which would leave a 3.5-foot space on either side of the property line for us. And then the maneuvering distance off the alley would require us to set the garage back 6.5 feet from that alley line. So that's the site plan and the elevations here. I actually dimensioned this for you so you could see the 23'6" to the peak. The additional windows that the city requested would just mirror this window, move it up to the second floor on both east and west elevations. And then you can see the north and south elevations really do mirror the kind of the style of the home with the shed dormers and the windows. And our plan is to also match the our house has the the old asbestos tile on it. They now make that in a fiber cement product that we're planning on using to side the garage. We're going to do kind of match the style with like transom window over the door, which is something that we currently have on the old carriage house, and really just try to match the roof pitch and the architectural style of the house. So,
And we need the space because anyone who lives in South Clintonville, at least, the homes are on the smaller side. We have a 2-year-old and plans to expand our family. Since COVID hit, we've been working from home and we're kind of busting at the seams a bit. We moved from Dublin, from the suburbs, to Clintonville because we love the community and we just need some more space and would like to remain in Clintonville and be able to have that finished storage space and use it as storage space and then also as like an office space for us. If any of you are working from home with your spouse in the same room, you may be at each other's throats, or maybe that's just us. But having that extra space would certainly be helpful for us to spread out just a little bit more. I think anything else to say?
No.
If that's, I did have one question. Did you say you're just going to move up that window, or are you going to put an additional window above the windows on the side?
They requested an additional window. So they want one first floor and second floor.
Maybe in alignment.
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear. There
Yes.
are
Yep.
going to be 2 windows instead of 1.
Windows per, yep.
Okay. Do we have other? Oh, and is there any plan has the city talked to you about whether you can put in bathroom space or kitchen space in there?
We have not. We have no plans to do that. So.
Because I think right now, last they told us, and it said if there's kitchen space, it becomes a habitable space, and a habitable space is a second residence. And
Right.
well, some places say that's a good thing, right? Still, Columbus still doesn't. So it would I assume there'd be there'd be heating or air conditioning in it, or?
Yeah, we'll probably do like a ductless, like mini split system out there, just to condition the loft space.
Any questions from the committee?
Is there going to be water running up there?
No.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Oh, I'd ask you, you said you had talked to your neighbor. How many of your neighbors had you had a chance to speak with? Have you had a chance to speak with?
Just
Well, we've spoken with both, but then one moved.
yeah,
So-
yeah, both knew about it at one point. This guy here moved.
Okay.
And I've spoken to this neighbor here.
And what did he think of it? What did he or she think of it?
Oh, he's fine with it.
They're actually
Yeah.
saying they need to demo their garage.
Yeah, they were thinking about eventually doing the same thing. So
And and how many are? I see they have a bigger garage too. Is that how tall is their garage?
it's slightly taller than ours, I think, but it's oriented different. It's turned the other way.
Slightly taller than yours will be, you mean?
Oh, slightly taller than ours currently is. It's probably
I would say
it's 20 feet maybe.
that house is also much higher than our house.
It's a duplex.
It's a duplex with a 3rd floor, so it's quite a bit taller.
So the neighboring house has 3 floors.
Yes.
Yes.
And normally some of us would have been able to get out to go and take a look at it. And that's again my fault, not yours. I'll go out and take a look just before we get to the commission meeting, so I can speak more directly to that. Do we have any other questions from the committee?
Is it in the same kind of location as the existing carriage house, like as far as how close it is to the property line?
Yeah. Yep. So it'll actually sit back about the same, a little bit further towards the alley, and just a couple feet closer to our house. And then obviously it'll take up more of the width of the lot.
Okay.
But it's
Still within the setback.
It's generally, yeah, our existing garage would fall, the footprint of that existing garage would fall right in the footprint of the proposed garage.
Okay. But you don't need any other variances as far as being close to the lot line or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
And just, have we told you how the demo permits work for the garage? Has anyone told you about that?
What permits?
No, the demo permits, when you want to when you want to demolish when you go to the city to get a permit to demo your garage, you have to do that separately. And what
Yes.
they do is to waive the waiting period, they will email me and the chair of the commission, and as long as me, the chair of the commission, and the commissioner who's covering your district agree, then we waive it without having you to go through another meeting. We just waive the review of it.
Wow.
And that usually goes, that often happens the same day, because usually one of us will notice it first and we'll text the other one, but that usually goes within a day or two.
Great. Yeah, I knew we needed.
But that just, you do not have to go through the variance process to get that waived. They have a special, because it's a detached residential garage, there's a accelerated procedure.
Gotcha. Good to know.
Do I have any other questions from the committee? Anyone? Let me check my email, make sure no, I know it's unlikely anyone will have. And just so you know, I circulated this. I have an email list of people who asked for all zoning notices, and everyone on that email list got this. So it may be last minute, but it's not done privately. And do I have any other questions? Do I have a motion? Okay, Diane's motion to approve. Kelly seconds. All in favor? I can see everyone now. Raise your hand. Any opposed? Okay, I have Sharon. I didn't see. Did you vote yes or no? Okay, so a vote of 6-1. 6-1 in favor. Recommend approve. And I want to again apologize to the applicant for my sloppiness, and thank you for giving me a call and giving Colin time to correct it.
No worries. Glad I got a hold of you.
No, I thank you very much. And you can go on with the rest of your evening, and I'm just going to check my email one more time for the third applicant, then we'll have to decide what to do, what we want to do about that.
All righty.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a
everybody.
nice evening. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, there's no more. I'm checking my email. Nothing from, just making sure that it refreshes. Nope, it's refreshed. Let me check my messages. He did not respond to my text. And let me just check my phone to make sure there's no missed calls or anything. There are no missed calls. Well, we can, this is on the agenda, so I'll call it up and then we can decide what we want to do with it. It's CV 21030. And can someone correct my pronunciation of it?
I've always just said Kanawha. I live one
Kanawha.
street
Kanawha.
north.
Kanawha.
Kanawha, yeah.
Kanawha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I've always heard, but in West Virginia, they don't say it like that.
Okay.
How do they say
Kanawha.
Because they
it?
have a river there and they don't say, yeah, so, but I've always heard
Don't
Kanawha.
okay. Yeah. You could answer him privately, because now that you just confused me and I'll get it wrong before the commission.
It took me a long time to learn how to say it right when I married my husband and ended up there. Like, what? Kanawha, right?
Well, the owner, I have not received any comments. I did mail out the notices. Planning is supportive of it. He's asking to be consistent with the existing use. We could either have a motion to approve. If someone wants to do a motion to approve, we could do a motion to table. If someone wants to do a motion to table.
This is such a simple.
Yeah, motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? And one last, since I always promise to check email, make sure no, in the off chance.
Diane, you're muted.
Yeah, I think I'm okay now. If it's been this way since 1949, I don't think I can come up with a reason not to say keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, and all in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? No opposed. So recommended approval 7-0. I'll let him know that he didn't, that it's all approved, but that he probably should show up for the full commission meeting just in case someone there has a question there. I do not yet know when the Columbus City Schools is having their May meeting for the facilities committee. If they do it again at 6 o'clock, then I will push this back to 7:30. But I'll let you, as soon as I know from them, I will send out a notice. And I do thank you all for your flexibility. Unless anyone has any objections, and any objection to adjourning? No objections. Have a nice evening.